So let's begin the vlog. I don't have makeup because it's very early in the morning. Well, early, it's 10, but we're leaving at 4 p.m. So until then, I'm not really gonna get ready because I don't wanna get ugly later. So first of all, we are traveling to Venezuela from the Czech Republic. That's a total of 24 hours from the moment we leave the house to the moment we arrive to our home in Caracas. So those are so many hours because we are going to be in the airport 3 hours before, then we have a 3-hour flight, then we have a 2.5-hour wait in Istanbul, then we have, I think, a 14-hour flight, and then, you know, the suitcase is coming out and everything. That takes a while in Venezuela, and then it's like 1 hour to my house. So that's gonna be something. At the moment, Alicia is sleeping. We're traveling with Turkish Airlines, and Turkish allows you to have 2 suitcases of 23 kilos per adult passenger. So that's 4. And then 1 suitcase of 23 kilos per infant. She doesn't have her own seat, so she's supposed to travel in my lap, but in theory, they also have these like tiny cribs that they put for the baby in front of you. We pay the extra fee to be in the front row because the last time that we traveled to Venezuela with Turkish, there was a couple that they were traveling with a baby, and she was put on front with the baby, but he wasn't because they didn't pay for it. So she was the one traveling with the child, not him. And since these flights from to Venezuela are usually overcrowded, I was like, I would much rather pay the fee and guarantee that we're gonna have that seat than being separated from John in such a crazy flight. Yeah, we were in that flight in the front, and the lady was on the side of us, and she kind of asked us if we could allow her husband to sit there and Jan could go on the back. But have you seen my husband? He's literally like 2 meters tall, so he doesn't fit anywhere else than in the first row or in the aisle, and the husband was like in middle, so yeah, we were the bad people and we had to say no. So we don't want that to happen, so that's how we did it. Okay, so we're traveling with 5 big suitcases. Mostly, Alicia has like 1 suitcase fully for her because we're bringing all her formula because she eats this hip combiotic formula, which is, you cannot really find in Venezuela. You can find other brands. So I was not willing to just gamble that. So I bring all the formula that we're going to use, as well as we are bringing her little sheep that she uses in the sofa so she can have something familiar that's quite big. And then we're bringing a lot of clothes. But tip here, especially if you're going back home to your parents or something like that, just bring clothes that is about to be small. Because since we're traveling for 3 weeks, which is not a short vacation, we actually are taking a lot of clothes that doesn't have to come back. That way we won't have the extra weight coming back. Then, of course, it's Christmas as well. So we're bringing a lot of presents, especially like food-related presents, like salamis and those delicious Czech cheeses and those like even instant soups. You know, everything is so different here that I think it's going to be so well appreciated in Venezuela. So we're taking all that with us. And that took a lot of space, as well as like my in-laws are also taking presents. We're taking like a bunch of Christmas cookies, like I think like 4 kilos of Christmas cookies. Something insane, like a lot. So yeah, in total, we're bringing like 125 kilos of things, which is crazy. But that includes the formula, diapers. We're also bringing diapers because in Venezuela, you can find diapers, but I'm not sure if you can find the ones that we use. And as well, they're very expensive because everything there is kind of like imported from abroad. So you have like price over price. So it's quite like 20 to 30% more expensive, everything. So if we don't have to pay for the extra luggage, we're just taking it with us. Then we are bringing the stroller, but of course I'm going to show you that later on. Alice is sleeping right now in the studio. We changed it, even though she's only about to be 5 months, but still 4 months, because we're taking the sport one, not the one that is like the crib with the stroller, but the one that they sit normal. And we have the side bags, because when you have a stroller that folds like in 1 piece and not in 2, the airline allows you to take the stroller all the way until the door of the plane, which is like, wow, yes. So we're like, okay, she's a little bit young for that stroller, but there's no other choice. It was that or no stroller. So we're taking that. And as well, you know, Alicia is formula fed. She's not breastfeeding at all. So we're taking all her formula liquid because yes, you can take liquid on a plane if it's for a baby. So we're taking a couple of, I'll show you. Okay, as you can tell, it's craziness here. So we're bringing Paralen because she can get a fever or something, and so that's important. We're bringing Ivalgin because of pain killing. We're bringing as well some of her digestive things like Gota Hazar, that is for belly pain. All that is the liquid formula. And then we also bring these ones because she drinks fruit here in the house in the morning, like a milkshake, kind of like mixing formula with this. But not, usually I use normal fruit, but for the trip, I'd rather use this than anything else. And yeah, it's a ton because it's 24 hours. That's what she eats, more or less in 24 hours. She eats a lot, okay? She eats a lot. So all that, you just have to put it in one bag and it can go through and it should be no problem. As well, I'm bringing her sound machine, which you couldn't see there, with us, because even though the plane is super loud, I maybe can put the sound machine in the little crib that they give you and she might be able to sleep some. I mean, a 14-hour flight is something. And that girl, she doesn't like to be whole in your lap for more than like 15 minutes. So I don't know how we're gonna do this. It's gonna be crazy. You're gonna be learning with us. I'm gonna show you everything that we're doing. Now I'm gonna show you her bag, her diaper bag, to show you everything we put in. Sorry, I have a vitamin C on my tongue. So this is a sponge which already has detergent, like dishwasher on it, because we're only gonna bring, I think, 2 or 3 bottles with us. We are not gonna bring 6 bottles, and you cannot put formula in a bottle that is dirty. So we're doing this. And, you know, I couldn't bring the entire detergent thing, and I couldn't find a small one. So this is a blanket, and this is a burper. The blanket is pretty much for the crib to put it underneath, and the burper is to, like, put it on top, or the other way around, I don't know. This is her pollo, her pollito. This is flamingo that she loves. And there is some clothes changes. We pretty much got her a set of, like, 3 changes there that they all got together. This is powder formula in case, God prevents, but in case we get stranded somewhere, we don't rely only on the liquid formula. We actually have here for like 2 days in this bag. Here are burpers and the mousseline things. Here I think there's 16 diapers or 17 diapers. They told me in the plane they have diapers, but I think that's more than enough for 24 hours. Here is her brush. And even though she only likes one type of pacifier, we got her here some that she doesn't love, just in case she loses the one that she likes. We couldn't find a replacement for that one, so in case she loses them, at least she has something kind of similar. And here, here we have like burpers and a new, completely new wet one thing that actually closes with like a top, because that's important. And here I have the 2 baby bottles, and we have the warmer that we use for the liquid formula. You may ask why liquid formula and not the powder and just a bottle of water. The truth is that making the formula is kind of messy, and it takes space. More than time, it takes space. And she's also, like, I love her with all my heart, but I know I am spoiling her. And when she's hungry, it's like, give me food now. It's not like, oh, wait, now I'm gonna prepare the food. Then she starts crying, and then it's very hard to calm her down. So she's a great baby as long as you're like meeting her demands like very fast. So the truth is that we pack that formula because I find it way faster and way easier to serve it. And at the same time, you can be warming it up for like, with that like portable warmer that I have, you can be warming it up for like 1 hour or something. And then like, once it reaches around 37, 38 degrees, you can just like give her. So yeah, we're doing that. I'm so nervous. You have no idea how nervous I am. I'm gonna take a shower. I'm gonna shower my hair, and probably I'm gonna put a little bit of makeup. I'm also gonna bath Alicia because she won't be bathing again in like 24 hours. But I am bringing baby soap because when she poos a lot, I actually need to wash her properly, and I wanna make sure that I can do that. And what else? That's it. This is gonna be insane. We have her birth certificate with us. We have her passport with us. We both have our passports, of course. The birth certificate is in Czech because it's the only one we have. So I hope that's enough. We don't have a legal translation of it, but I guess that's gonna be all right because the Spanish passport is in Spanish because it's a Spanish passport. And what else? Paperwork wise, we have all the COVID negative PCR tests, all that. and she doesn't need a PCR test, but we're both negative, and we are all vaccinated and everything. Not her because she can't, but you know, us. And I think that's it. I think I'm gonna show you like once we are in the way or already in the airport to show you more or less how the dynamic works. I'm scared, like I'm terrified. So we just have our boarding passes already. We haven't passed security, but they gave us a bag for the stroller. Very important, with Turkish Airlines, you can bring the stroller all the way up until the door of the plane, but it must be one-piece stroller. So pretty much your baby strollers in Prague, I think the only one that stays in one piece when folded is the Cybex. So we're lucky enough to have that one, because otherwise you cannot bring it into, you know, all the way until the door of the plane. So that's an important point there. So we literally move Alicia from the baby one to the sport one already, just because the baby one you have to remove the bassinet and then you have the structure, whilst the sport one is just one when you fold it. So we're doing that. And even though we had 5 suitcases, come on, now we just have like the stroller, this here, my backpack is underneath there, and then 2 small suitcases here, and it's super doable. And as well, somebody gave me a tip, I'm gonna try to implement it. That is, once you have to fold your stroller, so it's like time to board, you actually wear your baby instead of just carrying her. You put the baby carrier, so you can have both hands free to like pick the seat and do everything you need to do with her on your chest. So I'm gonna try to do that. For now, Jan is buying M&M, so I'm going back there. I think almost everyone knows this, but anyway, I'm gonna show it. They give you an extra seat belt, so you can buckle her on top of your lap. So you can buckle her on top of your lap, and you have to use it for the takeoff and the landing. But in our case, we managed to get the seat in the middle empty, so she's gonna sleep there. But for now, she can be here angry because she hates the seat. But well, okay, I'm gonna take care of her.
Alicia's first takeoff.
So I don't know if you guys knew, but Alicia hates to be on the lap. So I'm very happy for this middle seat, and we actually managed to buckle her anyways there. So not for the takeoff or landing, she's not gonna be there, but at least for the middle of the flight she is. And we already gave her some baby calm, which makes her sleepy. And we gave her some paracetamol for the ear popping. And I know it's a lot of things, but whatever to make her comfortable, because you know, traveling is not comfy for anyone, especially for a baby. Even though she's not really hungry, it's just for calming her down. I've never done that before, but it's working now, so maybe it will work for you too. We're finally landing, and she finally fell asleep. This is the first flight. It wasn't that long. I thought it was 3 hours, but it was actually 2 hours. And now we have a layout of 2 hours or something like that, and then we have the second crazy flight of like 14 hours. But I mean, she's out. I mean, it's 11 p.m. back home, I think, and this little baby is just restless.
excited.
She's excited. We hope she's gonna sleep some in the plane. We booked the first row. Also, I highly recommend that. Don't trust that they're gonna assign it to you, because what if there's 5 babies on the flight? Then you are competing with all of them. So in my opinion, just go for it and book it in advance, so you know what you're gonna get and you're not gambling with your comfiness, especially in a long haul. I mean, like any flight that is longer than 3-4 hours. Also, pardon the mess, guys, but I'm mixing this with milk, not giving it by itself, but mixing it with the formula, and that really helps her eat when she doesn't feel like, for example, now in the plane she has been eating the bare minimum and I'm not sure why. So we mixed it and now she's eating happier. So what we do is we feed her there, we walk her a little bit around, and then we put her back there. The bathrooms are okay. There's a small table where we can change her. I haven't filmed because it's literally a very small table and it's a very, very, very small bathroom. Like the first flight bathroom was way bigger, but this one is just teeny tiny. So literally impossible to record anything there.
I cannot do anything there.
Yeah, Jan couldn't change her, not even once. So if you are not a Polly Pocket like myself, might be difficult to change your baby in a Turkish Airlines international flight. Also, another tip, even though she's not looking at it right now, yeah, play any cartoon. She doesn't need to listen to it or anything. She needs to just look at it. Now she's happy. She's very uncomfortable when sitting. That's why we were so grateful for the little crib, because she hates to sit in our laps. So you close this one and then the baby's safe. I think her head is supposed to be there, but I'm actually sitting in this side because how the crib is designed. But well, I think this one is a little bit old school. The new airlines should have more modern ones, but this is the one that we have and it's fair enough. She can sleep in a crib and we're grateful for that. Breakfast was amazing, so yeah, and finally I could drink coffee because it's the morning again. Yeah, it's a video. As you can tell, Alicia is only 4.5 months and already the crib is like, it's just like her feet are here and her head is here. So if your baby is older than that, him or she might not fit. So I look horrible, I'm crazy, I'm ugly, because when you travel with a baby, it's not about you, it's about the baby. But Alicia is fine. She did great, and actually once we arrived to Venezuela, I guess it's not gonna work the same everywhere, of course, but once we arrived to Venezuela, we didn't have to do any lines because you go through priority because you have a baby, which actually makes traveling kind of more comfy, if that makes sense. She behaved like a champ, she did it all so well, and I'm happy to say that we will travel again with her. But I have to be honest, I don't think a baby older than 7 months can fit in that crib in front of the seats, and with that crib it's not doable for us. So I would recommend any baby older than 7 months or like that cannot fit in that crib, just buy the flight ticket for the baby, because I wouldn't be able to imagine not having that. So yeah, that's my advice for sure.